a season finale, and perhaps more than just that. There are lots of things going on for the final round of the BTCC this weekend. Let's have a bit of a talk about Brands Hatch Grand Prix. And we'll start off with the timetable because I like to get that out of the way nice and quickly. The Porsche Sprint Challenge will be supported this weekend, as will the F4 British Championship and the Virtue Mini Challenge, and also the Porsche Carrera Cup. It's pretty much the entire TOCA package, right? 9 o'clock on Saturday is when the Sprint Challenge qualifying kicks things off. Then at 9:45 you have free practice at the BTCC. F4 qualifying is at 10:40, then at 11:20 you have the mini qualifying. Then you have more free practice at BTCC at 12:05 before the lunch break. After lunch at 1:15 you have the first Sprint Challenge race, and then at 1:55 the first F4 race. Then you get Carrera Cup qualifying at 2:30, BTCC qualifying at 3:15, and the first mini race at 4:30. On the Sunday, it kicks off the Sprint Challenge at 10 o'clock. At 10:35, we then have another F4 race before the first BTCC race of the final round of the season is at 11:25. 12:05, we see the next race for the minis, followed by a Carrera Cup race at 12:40 before the lunch break. After the lunch break at 2:05, it is race 2 for the BTCC, followed by the Sprint Challenge, and that is their curtain call race at 2:45. The curtain call for the F4s is at 3:20, and the curtain call for the minis is at 4 o'clock. Then it's the Carrera Cup final race at 4:35, and at 5:30, the BTCC, which is quite nice because I think the sunset is at 6:30. So that means that you'll start to see the lights come up on the cars, you'll see the sun go down, and you'll see that famous floodlit celebration on the Brabham Strait to round out the season. And according to the Met Office, it should be a nice weekend as well. Highs of 16 degrees on the Saturday and the Sunday, and a low chance of rain as well. I'm looking at the Met Office forecast right now, and it's showing chance of precipitation at less than 5%. It may be chilly for anybody in attendance. It will feel more like 10, 11, 12 degrees, even though it's going to be 15 or 16. It's not quite late summer, but it's still a nice autumn at the start of October. And let's talk championship picture. It is a 2-horse race here, and it is a mountain to climb for Ash Sutton if he wants to, I think, get the record, won't he, outright for most championships if he was to win. He's currently 33 points behind Tom Ingram, and I think the maximum you can get from an entire weekend is 67. I think it's 22 per race for the win, fastest lap, and a lap led, and then an extra point for pole position in race 1. So we could see, potentially, going into the final race, the championship decided and it just being an all-out brawl. That's one of the nice things about the finale for the BTCC. Some of these drivers will just go all out, and there are going to be some more meaningful finales as well elsewhere. This championship battle is nice to see, but it is also one of the more predetermined ones that we've seen in recent seasons. What is close is the manufacturers and the team standings. In the manufacturers, the Alliance Ford team will be on 763 to Accelerate 762. In the teams, it is 3 points between Napa Racing UK and Team Virtue. Then if we go to the independents, it's 5 points between Dan Lloyd and Mikey Doble, with Chris Smiley 13 points behind. Dexter Patterson is still mathematically in contention. He is 54 points out, but that is going to be a bit of a mountain to climb. Restart Racing are 95 points clear of Motorpass Direct with Power Max Racing, so whilst it is mathematically possible, it is also likely improbable that Restart Racing gets beaten this season. And the Jack Sears, whilst there is some kind of a closeness between the top three, it realistically is going to be a 2-horse race between Darryl De Leon and Charles Rainford, though at the same time Sam Osborne, having also been a race winner, because the top three in the Jack Sears all won races this year, they're all going to be graduating. Only one of them can take the championship though. And then the Wingfoot Award, Tom Ingram's. He's on 134, and then Dan Camish is on 118. Now there are some bits that could still be up in the air. So if I look at the main driver standings, if I look a bit further down, Dan Camish and Jake Hill are separated by 4 points, and it's only another 14 points back to Daniel Rowbottom. So those 3 are battling over third. Elsewhere, Tom Chilton and Adam Moore could be battling out for the second best of the Hyundais. They are separated by 1 point. Gordon Shedden and Darryl De Leon are tied on 142 and only 5 behind Aidan Moffat. As directly behind them, Josh Cook and Senna Proctor are tied, 1 point behind Shedden and De Leon. But it is a finale that will see a couple of farewells to the BTCC. Nick Halstead is calling time on the BTCC at the end of this weekend, and he has a bunch of names of fans on his car to commemorate his BTCC career. I'm one of the names on there. But the one that's probably grabbed more headlines is the number 1, Jake Hill. He will be leaving at the end of the season to pursue international racing commitments. Rumours are it's going to be GT3s, potentially even with West Surrey, given that they have the BMW connection as well. But it would be nice to see him bow out with a top 3 in the championship, and it has only been a for now. He might be back in the future and come to compete for more championships. It is also rumoured, I believe, that this might be the last race for the Ford Focus. I know Alliance were looking at a new platform for 2026. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Anyways, folks, as always, thank you so much for watching and joining. I love being able to sit down and talk about this stuff, and I love that people will tune in and have a listen. But, as always, until next time, it's bye-bye for now.